Civil War weekend, Sully Plantation.
Yay.
The soldiers in the 1800s, how in the heck did they deal with it, you know? They had those wool, I guess they wore wool coats and things like that.
Yeah.
I actually read that they took the train into Warrenton, I think it was General King's regiment, I think, and they were marching up Warrenton Turnpike to Bull Run, and they all started taking their coats and throwing them on the side of the road because it was so hot. They stopped doing that. I guess the Army started charging them.
Well, yeah, because you got to get another one.
Yeah, a couple months down the road, they needed those jackets. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, then come back. There's also food down there. I've got ice cream.
I might get one of these keppies.
Oh.
I want one.
Do you really? You want one? Which one do you want? You want to get it later or do you want to get it now? You want to come back and get it? You want it now? Do you want a Union or a Confederate one? All right, cool. At the Gardner.
Another horseshoe. If you want to hold it, this is how heavy the shell is that we fire, 10 pounds.
Cannons like that. And yeah,
And as you can see, the paper fuse that it would take, this is what you'd call an explosive ordnance. So this would just be filled with gunpowder. And you can see the paper fuse fits right in there. But as you can see, paper in a simple cork fuse could burn quick, could burn slow, could burn not at all. This is what's called canister shot. And if you can feel this, you can go ahead and hold that too if you want. That is 10 pounds of tin, a tiny wood sabot, and who's ever fired a shotgun? What does this look like?
Shotgun shell.
It is a shotgun shell. This is essentially anti-human bird shot. It would be filled with, this is actually naval, so it's filled with bigger balls. Typically they would be filled with 32 caliber or maybe 44 caliber balls. And the way that this works is when you load it in, there is no goes down range. There is no fuse. You fire, this obviously splits apart and it turns that into a giant shotgun. And you can imagine the devastation that this would wrought. You have infantry approaching you and they're at 60 yards. Bad day for me because they should not be anywhere near 60 yards. Every gun would have typically 2 to 3 rounds of canister with it, which goes to show you, you weren't supposed to sit around and just fire canister. You fired and you did what's called a firing retreat at that point, which means every time the gun kicks back 12 feet, you are falling back with it. And then trust me, after you go after your canister, if they're still coming, you're running away. Because there's nothing.
Right.
We have those sticks and maybe the sergeant's revolver. We don't have. I'm not going to fight off, advancing infantry with bayonets and rifles with those.
Yeah.
And to be honest, typically a long time before we would get to this, we'd already be gone. Because that means the day's going against us, and as before mentioned, these things would cost about $6,000 to $8,000 in their money. So you can imagine that it's a very big investment for the Army. They don't want to lose this gun. That round, each one of these costs about $30 in their money. So that would be ridiculously expensive. These are actual pieces of a reed shell, and these are little bits of canister and case shell. And towards the end of the war with the Confederacy, it wasn't always little balls that would go inside of canister shell.
Whatever they could get.
It could be whatever they could sweep up off the factory floor, nails, glass.
Whatever they could.
That's off a Schenkel shell.
Ah.
Blue part. Elevation screw. And you would line it up with the front side on the gun, and that is how you would get your
Your target.
That's how you could get your accuracy out
Wow.
of it.